Hello and welcome to the Brothers of Liberty. Once again, I am Brian, and on today's video, I want to talk about the past 48 hours that we have witnessed in Afghanistan. Over the last few days, the Taliban has taken quite a bit of ground over there and got to Kabul, and what we saw, well, in 1975, it was Saigon. In 2021, it was Kabul. We had to get our people out of the embassy, and we're still trying to get civilians and other people of Afghanistan, as well as foreign nationals, out of the country as quickly as we can. We've got Britain, of course, trying to get their people out, and other countries that had people there. And the situation right now is looking rather grim. We don't know what the Taliban has in store, but we do know that they're already going door to door, knocking on doors. Some people have said, and what I've heard is that they are already grabbing girls for sex slaves, things like that. Unfortunately, right now that's all unconfirmed, so I'm not going to sit there and say that that's what's happening. But I did hear on one news outlet that they were going around smiling and going door to door and, trying to make it seem like they were going to do the right thing. Currently, the UN Security Council has asked the Taliban do the right thing, make a representative government, that kind of thing. And as we know, the Taliban has never listened before, so why should they listen now? And in listening to President Biden's remarks earlier, stating that they had no idea, that they were pretty much caught off guard by what happened. How was our intelligence caught off guard? We saw what the Taliban did years ago when they took over, I believe in 1996. We saw what they were like when they hid Al-Qaeda. We had to go to Afghanistan in 2001 to go after Al-Qaeda after the attack on the World Trade Centers. And yet we were caught off guard. More importantly, if we look at history, we'll notice that Afghanistan is known as the graveyard of empires. And here are some of the empires that they have been able to defeat: the Romans, the Mongols, the British, and of course the USSR. Afghanistan's always been a difficult country and land area to really take control of, or to even keep the peace there. We have all this information from history. We have all this information from just 2 or 3 decades ago, and yet we were caught off guard. Biden was right. This was very messy. Extremely messy. And it's going to get messier. The next few days we're really gonna see a lot of problems in that area, in that region. We've already got China and Russia, coming in to try to do their thing. I seen video of American equipment that was left behind being taken, as far as we can tell, because it was Iranian TV, taken to Iran. Humvees and other equipment that we left behind. There's video of the Taliban members turning on helicopters that we left behind. Didn't try to fly them, so I'm guessing they didn't know how to fly it, but they were turning them on. They have taxpayers' military equipment that we, the taxpayers, paid for, that we left over there because we decided to pull out in such a hurry, which was probably the worst thing to do. And now we're seeing, civilians trying to grab onto our planes, and video of two of them actually falling from one of the planes they were holding on to. And, I get it. Biden, he decided to keep the promise that he made that we'd pull out of Afghanistan. Okay, that's great. But he still had to acknowledge that we lost. Yet he doesn't want us to compare what happened in Kabul to Saigon. And yet, you look at the pictures, they slightly reminiscent. 46 years apart. And the same thing. Biden did say that the buck stops here with him as far as the war in Afghanistan goes. And then he went on to say that the Afghan government should have been more prepared, but they weren't. And I unfortunately have to agree with him. You've got the training, you got the equipment, and then you just crumble. The Afghan leaders just decided to hightail it when things started looking rough. So unfortunately, I do have to agree with the president that the Afghan leadership and the Afghan military should have done more. But I'm looking at it from this point of view. How many sons and daughters were sent over to Afghanistan? How many children died? How many came back with life-altering injuries? Some that we can see, and some we can't see, like PTSD. Was this all for naught? President Biden stated that the only reason we were in Afghanistan was to go after Al-Qaeda, not to country build. I really don't know if that's the best thing to say or not. But I do know that we're still dealing with the situation over there because we've now had to send some troops over there to go ahead and try to evacuate people. Things could have gone a lot smoother. Things could have been done differently. But this is where we're at right now. And so I just want to get the opinions of everyone watching. Was the war in Afghanistan, a 2 decades long war, all for nothing? Or did we even accomplish anything? Except for sending more and more troops over there whenever, when we needed to. Because right now, I'm looking at all this, and the only thing I can think of is this looks a lot like Vietnam. Afghanistan is our generation's Vietnam. And it's crazy that I'm having to say this. It's crazy that I am saying this. My parents saw Vietnam, and now I'm seeing Afghanistan. And it's looking quite the same. please go ahead, give your opinion in the comments. Once again, no cussing, no name calling. Let's be intelligent. Let's be civil. And if you like what we're doing, like, share, subscribe. Be a great thing. And just, if you want me to keep talking on this subject, and I can go into the history of what happened to the Romans, the Mongols, and the British, if you want me to, as to why Afghanistan got the name, the Graveyard of Empires, I'll be glad to do that. Love history, and I'd be glad to go into that if you want to know more about that. Once again, this is the Brothers of Liberty, and we are here to show you what true freedom is. Have a good one, everyone.